Hello everyone, this is GSHOCK High Fashion channel and welcome to another GSHOCK disassembly video. In this video, we're gonna have a look at a famous square solar multi-band GSHOCK watch. In this case, the GWM5600 bracelet version. This is the bracelet. Took me a while to remove it. Pretty tricky. It is pretty hard, unlike when you're removing a resin adapter like this. So this is how it looks like. Pretty flexible. Casio Vietnam made stainless steel for this part. This is a hard resin with texture. The one in the middle that connects all of the joints is metal, and it is locked with spring bars, similar with the one that is locking the lug or this whole bracelet. If you want to adjust the size, just use similar method, remove that in there and you're good to go. And here is the watch engine. The body is pretty lightweight, by the way, and this is how it looks like from the back. Look at that, GWM5600 bracelet, and this is the batch number, by the way, 199A, which means 199th day. A stands for the year, really, so in this case should be 2011. Making this model was released in the year 2011, somewhere in the month of July, or yeah, June or July, somewhere around there. For now, let's have a look what's inside here. So this is the back plate of the watch with the piezoelectric speaker, and there's another part in here. I still not sure what this thing is. It looks like it is tape in there where I could try to remove the tape, but you know what, I don't want to do so. And one more thing that I need to point out is that there's a lot of dirt on this side of the watch. Look at that. But there are no dirt at all on this side of the watch, and that is because the hard case consists of this wall on this side of the watch. So they are still dirt, but they are so few compared to this side of the watch where there is no wall like this. This dirt definitely would affect the water resistance of your GSHOCK watch. But anyway, you have your O-ring to protect all of the dirt and grime from getting into the module, so you're pretty much safe. So now let me remove this back plate cushion. This is how it looks like, pretty thick. There it is, and this is the engine, which should be easily removed like that. I'm sorry, this is the thing that powers your GSHOCK watch. The rest are just for protection. And this blue thingy here is the solar panel, of course, with those mesh-like frame on the side. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And we have this another hard resin, and seems like there are no more one of those resin layer on the side for side cushioning, and also metal frame to hold the engine. So technically this watch only have 1, 2, 3 layer of protection, whereas most vintage watch will came with 5 layers of protection. If you check my previous vintage GSHOCK watch disassembly video, you will see the difference in construction. That's probably why this watch is a little bit cheaper despite having tons more function. But anyway, if you want to remove the bezel, you could just snap it out like that, because the bezel is high quality resin. They are flexible for shock absorptions, and since they are high quality, most likely they won't break at all. They are very elastic at the same time. Even though they looks really hard, they are elastic. So keep that in mind, you're good to go. If you want to remove this, that's how you do it, which I will right now, so that you guys could see how the hard case looks like, because there's something interesting going on in here as well, and that is about the button. The button it looks like it is guarded with the resin bezel only, but when you look closer, you'll see that there's more guard on the side. There it is. It looks like it is buried just a little bit in there. You could push it. You could see the shaft in there, and the C-clip that is holding the buttons from popping outwards. So that's how the mechanism looks like. And this is the hard case of the watch. Feels very lightweight, by the way. Almost feels the same as this metal back plate. Pretty impressive. Let me put this at the back. The bezel, which is pretty standard, right, square bezel. Different shape from the GW5600, by the way. And this is the engine, round shape for I believe like 28 millimeters only. So pretty small watch. The thickness is about 60 millimeters only as well. So here's the first layer, the connector for all this from the battery to the circuit board with Casio Thailand sign below it. It is different as well because it is half shape. Usually there will be like a round shape, so interesting. And this is the first, let me try to remove it first, the battery compartment for this watch. All right, like that, with the battery in there, which is a CTL1616, a same battery that is currently powering my Modmaster G-SHOCK watch. It's exactly similar battery, but in this case it is powering this square model. Let me put this at the side so you guys will have a rough idea of how small this thing is. Look at that, so small. Okay, and I just dropped this piezoelectric speaker connector or spring, and this is the circuit board. I need to be careful now. Oh, slowly. All right, there it is. So that is the multi-band antenna for this model. There it is with the code down there. And surprisingly, this circuit board looks a lot more complicated than this watch. This guy has much more function than this, except it is not solid powered and multi-band, but the circuit board looks much more simpler compared to this model. Look at that, it looks very complicated even on this side, and when you look at it on this side, it is much more complicated. Let me bring it up close so you guys could see it better. Look at all this intricate placement for all these components for the design. There's a processing unit down here. The IC chip will be in the middle. It is really complicated. Look at that. Alright, so there you have it. Even though it looks simple from the outside, the interior is really complicated, and I love this type of design. And for a multiband 5, this is the antenna. I'm not sure how the antenna will look like for a multiband 6 version, but this is for the multiband 5 version as being indicated on this glass. Right? And now is the compartment for the EL backlight, I believe. That's to hold the spring down there. Hold on, let me bring the focus down. There it is. So I could remove it just like that. Nothing much going on over here. It is pretty flexible, by the way. Okay, and next is the EL backlighting panel for the watch that glows the green electroluminescence. So this is it. Connect with this two spring down there, and there's two more spring over here. That is to connect to the solar panel in here. This is the connector. There it is. Connect with this two spring and then charge up the battery in this watch. Tilt it like that and drop the spring down. There it is. Gold spring, probably for a lot more efficiency in electrical conductivity. And this is the display panel compartment, where obviously to place the display panel. It looks complicated, right? But it is really simple. You just hold this simple display panel, which is different compared to recent most model, and that is because it only have one connector down there. Most watch will come with this, two of this, one on this side and one on this side to power half of the display, and another side will be powering the other half of the display panel. In this case, just one to power the entire display. And I believe this is why the display panel in this model aren't as clear. But here it is, something interesting to learn about. And if you didn't like the negative display, you could take this polarizer sheets. There's some layer, one layer on top. Remove that and add in another layer, a positive display version, and then you'll have a better display, because the negative display in this watch, I gotta say, it is not the best at all. I mean, it looks good, it looks very cool, but it is not the most practical type of display panel. So if you want to change that, disassemble the watch like this and take it out and change that. I already made a video talking about that topic as well, and where to get a polarizer, so check that video out. The rest is just basic. All right, so this is how the GWM5600 engine looks like, either for the resin version or the bracelet version. The engine should be the same. Hold on, let me show you guys the module. It is 3063, right? So that is all it. I'm gonna need to assemble it all back, probably do some cleaning first because I touched here and there, right? That's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. This is GSHOCK High Fashion channel, and